Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. Please give us that 5-star review. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, wherever you do your potting. Also follow us on Facebook, BJ and Bill, the podcast. And you can always email us, BJ and Bill, the podcast @gmail.com, as we welcome you to episode 124. Man, the episodes just keep coming out like money in a strip joint.
What?
I don't know. What? I'm in a funky mood today. Excuse me.
It's a big day. It is a big day here in the United States of America. And lots going on. Lots to talk about today. Wow. It's just, it was a crazy, interesting weekend in sports. And here we are as we record this. Of course, it is Monday, January the 20th, which means we'll have a new president before the end of the day, which actually a new old president, an old new something like that. I don't know. We're recycling. We're into recycling, so we even recycle our president.
Yep, it's going to be wild.
You think?
Yeah, I think it'll be like one of those rides at the county fair.
Like one of those what rides?
Rides at the county fair.
Yeah, like what? Like
they're really not
might
approved.
Be dangerous, might not. You're not
you
sure.
Can fly out at any time, you just don't know.
I love that. I love that. Could be fun. Could be crazy. Who knows? And it's all being run by an old carny who looks like he's 3 days in a bottle of scotch.
I'm at the point where, hey, I'm at that age.
Right.
I'm living on house money right now. So whatever happens, happens.
Right.
Now, for those of you
that.
not on house money.
What's that?
For those of you out there that's not on house money.
Right.
I think I feel maybe a little sorry for you, but I'm not for sure. Y'all did this, so I ain't going to worry about it. I had nothing to do with it.
I didn't either. Honest to God, I didn't. I mean, I didn't even vote for the other guy. I didn't vote for anybody. I made the conscious decision to stay home, which I did. And I'm, again, I got a dog in the fight, so I don't care. I mean, I do care. I do care about this country, obviously. But it was so crazy, and I don't want to make it a show about politics because we have so much more to talk about. But things were and are so crazy, so divided, so unclear, so whatever. It's almost like just try something. Let's try something different. We've been doing this last thing for a while, and it hadn't really worked out for us. Maybe we should just throw some spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks, politically speaking. I know, right? I know.
And it's MLK Day, because like you said, we record this on a Monday.
It's also MLK Day. That is correct. So now there was a guy who knew what he was doing and knew what he wanted and knew how to do it and knew how to lead people in a way that got people out of the chair onto the street and did it in a way that made a positive change. So hats off and God bless you, Dr. King. And I'm sure you're doing great work in some other life else at this moment. So good to remember. The guy that made a difference in a positive way.
So like I said, I just make sure I went to the liquor store the other day, got some, fistful of gummies. Bring it on.
Fistful of gummies. Wait. We record this at 10 o'clock in the morning. You haven't had a gummy yet, have you?
Oh, not yet. No.
Okay. I just want to make sure that, around about halfway through the show, something doesn't kick in and you get, I was going to say a little loopy. We're both a little loopy.
Yeah, I'm a little loopy anyway.
Even more loopy, I should say. Yeah. Okay. So you're good. You're good. All right.
I'm good. Yes. Because when I'm done here, I am leaving to have stitches taken out. And I just want to go on record. I'm not a snitch, but I have stitches to come out.
You're not snitches get stitches. That's and you didn't snitch on anybody? Is that what you're
No,
saying? You did not snitch on anybody,
that's
but
that,
you have stitches to come out.
it's that world of organ transplantation and the
Yes.
wonderful world of skin cancers, because I don't know anybody who's had a transplanted organ after a year or two that you aren't going to the dermatologist about every 6 months and having at least one or two things either burn off or removed or cut out.
Really?
I would say I would say that's the biggest downside of organ transplants because it wrecks your immune system. And for some reason, skin cancers just pop out. And I'm like 22 years out now. So now like I'm like a teenager. They're popping out like pimples, you know?
I don't know, but thanks for the update. Okay. No, I get it. I mean, I don't get it, but I understand the immune system thing. You know, you've talked about that a lot, and I understand, of course, they have to make sure that new ticker of it's 22 years, but that relatively new ticker of yours stays with that doing what it's doing without the rest of the body going, hey, what's this? So yeah, I get it. I do. But skin cancer, interesting. I mean, good luck. I know won't be a big deal for you. You've handled it before. You'll handle it again. So,
and like I said, this is the easy part. This is where they snip, and the stitches come out and they send you on your way.
Right. You're fine. You're good. So we'll just expect some new bandages and that'll be fine. So
actually it's really funny because because I have the zipper from from all these surgeries that when they went in there to play with the heart.
Right. The front of his chest looks like a pair of jeans, folks. Believe me, you don't want to know. Yeah.
But this is like about an inch over and it's about that long.
Oh.
So it's like a big zipper next to a little itty bitty tiny zipper.
And it's coming off today.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, I think I've heard more than enough, but that's fine. Good luck. Have fun. Let us know how it goes. Of course, I'm sure we'll see your, send me some pictures on Facebook and Instagram and all that. So it'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's no big deal anymore. It's just like, okay. And then, like I said,
that's a good way to think about it.
And stitches are the easy part. It's when they like actually take a little scalpel and go, okay, we're going to cut a little here. Then we're going to go around here so we can get it all. Now we're going to take this little bit of skin out. Now we're just going to sew it up and put you on your way.
Okay. Yay. Doesn't sound like fun either, but again, it's all part of the process.
Yes.
So I'm started a new and different Medicare program. Here we are, old guys talking about our health problems. So God, what else is new? Started a new healthcare program at the beginning of the year. I've got an onboarding visit with my new doctor, who I haven't had a doctor in 10 years. So this will be interesting, but I'm fine. It's all good. But it was highly recommended that I get to this doctor. So at least I have one on file. And I know that if I do have a problem or a question or whatever, I have someone I can reach out to. So I'm okay with it's, I'm terrible with doctors. I'm terrible with them.
Another thing with being on, now you're on Social Security.
Right.
I don't know if they can force you to it or not, but I know every year they call it a wellness check that Medicare pays for. And so every year you have to go to a doctor to get your wellness checked. I
didn't know that was like a mandatory thing. That's interesting to hear you
now,
say
I don't know
that.
if it's mandatory, but I know that it's highly or strongly suggested because, of course I have a doctor.
Sure.
And my doctor says, oh, it's time for your, yearly, Social Security or Medicare check. So we need to get that scheduled. And I just say, okay, let's schedule it.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay with that. I realize, there's and he's going to ask me, anything bothering you, and I'm going to go like, just the usual old guy stuff, stiff joints and stuff like that, and not the kind you roll up, the joints you roll up, the kind that use every day in your arms and knees and hips and all. But other than that, yeah, I got no complaints. Knock on wood. It's me knocking on wood. I'm good. So there you go. All right.
Okay.
Enough of that. Enough of that.
Hope that all I hope that all got on the podcast because it says your internet connection is unstable.
Your picture has glitched a couple of times as I've seen you, watched you, but it hasn't affected the audio, so I think we're okay.
Okay, Mr. Computer Guy. I just got new internet and I'm now supposed to have a gig. I have no idea what it means, but I now have because they had to give me a new box,
right,
because now I have a gig.
Right. So dial next time you're at your computer, which you are. I mean, as soon as we're done, go over to www.speedtest.com and see what your internet speeds are and what your bandwidth is and downloads and all that stuff. Speedtest.com. Or if you just put speed test into Google, it will bring up. Google has a built-in one, but speedtest.com is a real live provider of that sort of information, and it will tell you what would have been interesting would have been to try last week when you had your previous company and this week when you have your new company and see if there's been any improvement. Oh, speed test. Yep. Oh, look at that. You're zooming along at about 350. Okay, 350. That's good. That's a good number. And then that's download speed. Now, so wait a minute. It's going to come back and now it's going to do it again with upload speed. And it's always much slower. Yep. Let's see. 34, 35. It's probably going to settle around 30, 36 or 37. Yeah, you're fine. I mean, you're okay. You're
then
okay.
Why am I glitching?
Well, upload speed is obviously 10% is much slower, right? So upload speed. So, all right. So now you're going to make me do it on my side here. All right, everybody. So how is this for exciting podcasting when you can't see what we are doing? So if I go to speed test, did you do it on the browser in like Safari on your iPhone?
No, this is a speed test app.
Oh, a speed test app. Perfect. Yep. I have the exact same app. There we go. Fire it up. If your internet's working, but you're not able to, yeah, no, I'm fine. Hit the go button. Yeah. Don't ask me again. I don't care.
Yeah, my download speed, for those who care out there, my download speed is at 365 and my upload speed or whatever is 38.2.
There you go. So mine's almost done. Stand by. Mine's a little bit better.
Yeah, Mr. Computer Guy has a little bit better.
I'm also paying a lot more than you are. Oh. You're getting it as part of your way, right?
Yeah, well, I will. I'm paying for it now, but.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I'm paying a separate bill of about $100 a month. So my download speed 402, my upload speed 55.6. So and again, those are really good numbers. But I used to see those numbers when I was doing my computer geek business back in Sarasota. I would always check because people would always, oh, why is the internet so slow? Every customer would, and I would go to speedtest.com, pull it up, see what was happening. And when I saw numbers like that, 300-400, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Now it's pretty much normal, but we'll see. Now, I do need to tell you, if there's a geek listening, he's going to be shouting at me right now. We both did it on our phones, and that's not your computer. So your computer might be a completely different speed because of stuff going on in your computer. So if you got a computer and there's viruses or malware, I'm getting off in the weeds here, I know, but viruses or malware or a lot of programs running or a lot of whatever, like if you're watching 6 different cat videos in the background, yeah, it's going to slow down. So anyway, check your computer when we get done with the podcast. Let me know how it goes. And that'll be $100 for the house call. Thank you very much. So.
I'm going to give you a house call right now because I don't know. Maybe you do this because you are kind of geeky. And I don't know if this is making me geeky or not, but I am pretty much done with Google. I don't use Google hardly at all anymore.
Cool.
If I have a question or anything I need answered, I go to Chat GPT,
Do you really? I'm so proud of you.
and
That's awesome.
that'll tell me about anything I want to know.
They have a chat G. They're. I think they are honestly, without coming out and saying it, I think they're kind of like doing hunting for Google's business a little bit. And I don't know. I mean, they obviously don't make money out of it yet. They will, just like Google does. But yeah, that's cool. Good for you. Yes. And for those who haven't tried it, ChatGPT, it's a website. You can just go there and you can create an account just like Google. And yeah, it really digs deep, and there's no advertising, there's no whatever, and you can ask it what I like is you can ask a question, and then if it tells you something you don't know, you can say, "Oh, tell me more about XYZ." And it will go into a nice long discussion, or as long as you want, about all of that and explain it to you rather than Google just showing you an answer or showing you a website where you can find the answer. Good for you, Mr. Odom. Good geek out for you.
And listen to this, young man. So, I've been telling you, we're getting this, new stuff in our HOA, and I, went over a little early.
Right.
And changed over my TV and things like that. And they give you this little box called XMoo or I don't know what the hell it's called, but something. And like I could turn my TV on and the app would come on. But whenever I would turn my TV off with, the remote that they give you for the little gizmo box,
right,
my TV, my box would go off, but my little TV would still be on.
That's interesting.
So I ask Chat GPT.
Right.
I go, my remote for Zumo or whatever this thing is called.
For Zoom.
Is it turning off my, no, it's XUMO. That's the box I'm using through my cable company.
Zumo. Okay.
And I said, I'm using the box. It's turning my TV on and, going to, the box.
Yes.
But when I go to turn it off, my TV remains on.
Oh, well,
And
okay.
And I have an LG TV. I even told it what kind of TV I had. Comes back. I looked at it. All I did was follow the little directions exactly as they sent them out to me. And guess what? It now turns on my TV. It now turns off my TV. And before that, the volume, I couldn't change the volume.
Yeah.
It does that. I couldn't freeze the screen. It just kept playing. I couldn't.
Right.
But it does everything now.
You had to pair the TV with the remote. And I don't mean apples and pears. I mean pair as in you had to, like when you pair a Bluetooth device. So for you, BJ Odom, you figured it out. Good for you. Yay.
I was so proud of myself last night. I even watched a little football.
Awesome. As he was watching football. So on to the big subject of the day. You didn't lose any money, did you? How many bets?
Oh, no.
I No, I didn't either. I would say 3 out of 4 games, exciting, fun, and good, interesting to watch. Chiefs, Texans, we knew the outcome. I can't tell you how many memes and other posts I saw on Twitter/X about how the refs in their St. Louis uniform, in their Kansas City Chiefs striped uniforms. It was disgusting. Anyway, so.
Well, I will tell you this.
Yes.
But I still don't understand all the rules of football. It's a stupid game.
Right.
But nonetheless, even I thought, okay, guys, now you are kind of leaning it's like if someone's leaning left or they're leaning right.
Right. Correct.
I don't know, as a buyer, because I didn't have a dog in this fight at all.
Right.
But it sure did feel like they were leaning Kansas City's way very much. I don't know if they were Swifties or what, but they were definitely leaning Kansas City way. That was the highlight of the game for me.
Which was?
Seeing Taylor Swift
and Caitlin Clark.
And Caitlin Clark sitting together, conversing about the game.
Yes.
I
And
thought I thought that was the most exciting, interesting part of the day.
it, that game it was. For that game it was. And apparently there's already the story already circulating that now Taylor has said she will come to a game, to one of Caitlin Clark's games, when the WNBA gets started up again. So if you didn't think it could get any bigger, oh boy, just wait. You know, when Taylor Swift goes up to an Indiana Fever WNBA game. I mean, they already play it in the same field, in the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the same as the Indiana Pacers. They're going to need a bigger stadium. They're going to need a bigger place to play. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe they can get a football stadium and put a basketball court. I don't know. It's going to be crazy.
Now, back in my high school days, I
Caitlin
remember
Clark
that you
came
would,
to one of your games.
no, no, no. I remember though going to the games,
Yes.
and like the home team would sit on one side all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and the visitors would sit on the other side.
Other side. Yes.
So now if this happens, will there be like a Caitlin side and a Taylor side? How's this going to work? Are they all going to kind of mingle together? And
yeah,
who
apparently, because apparently they're buddies.
And who will be there for the game?
Nobody. Nobody will be there for the game. That's the problem. Nobody. So, and how much will those tickets scalp for?
Oh, probably a good amount of money.
I heard a stat yesterday, just to go back to football, that the average, that means some were higher, some were less, but the average ticket price in Detroit for the Las Commanders game yesterday, $850. The highest average ever seen for a Detroit sporting event. $850, the average price. And I did the math. Okay, what if Ford Field seats 70,000 people? That might be high. But 70,000 times 850, and I asked Alexa, and it's about $42 million for one game. Oh, Alexa, stop. See, she's already talking to me. I'm thinking they just paid paid Stafford's payroll for the year or something with one game. Sweet.
Now, the only thing over the weekend, the game that kind of made me a little sad, and I don't know why, there's no reason for it. I'm not from Baltimore. I've never been to Baltimore.
We know you don't, yeah.
But there's something about Lamar that I wanted to see with a ring on at the end of the dating cycle.
I hear you. He's amazing and a cool, great player, and he's not done, so he's got a chance. I mean, you and I were texting before the game about that a little bit. You were, he's texting me, I'm on the Lamar bandwagon. I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting on the bandwagon with you. I'm kind of a Josh Allen fan and liking what he's doing. I mean, they're both, and even, I don't remember who was calling the game last night, who was calling that game. Might have been Tony Romo on CBS saying should be co MVPs this year, the two of them, Josh Allen and Lamar. And I'm like, not according to last night. But then he said, yeah, but playoffs don't count. It's regular season. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. So anyway, yes, that was probably the best game of the weekend. Buffalo Bills beat the Baltimore Ravens 27-25. Ravens had a chance to tie it with like 10 seconds left, went for the 2-point conversion, and the receiver dropped the ball for the 2-point conversion,
and of course, if they would have, because they went for a 2-point conversion, the touchdown before that. So if they would have just kicked field goals both times, it would at least been in a tie, but hindsight.
Right. I mean, yeah, because he missed a field goal earlier is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I saw it's 4 games over the weekend. I'm a little bit mushy on details on all of them. I should have been taking better notes because I take no notes. But yeah, that was the last game of the night last night. Kind of snowy, kind of cold, kind of whatever. Eagles Rams, very snowy in Philadelphia. Looked like the snow globe there. Eagles won that one. I'm not going to say easily, but it was not that close. Eagles won 28-22 over the Rams. Just to catch you up on everything, the Washington Commanders beat the Detroit Lions in Detroit, sending those poor Lions home to their dens to cry another winter. And that was probably the I'm not sure it was the best game, but it was the most interesting to watch because of the upset and all of that. So there you go.
Yeah, I would be with you on that. I think that was
Mm-hmm.
probably the best game of the weekend just because of the upset. I
Right.
didn't see it coming, but it makes
No,
me feel a
nobody did.
whole lot better about my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I will tell you that.
You and I were also texting about that, and I also agree about that. That it's like, okay, so the Bucks lost to the Commanders, and the Commanders are, just beat the Lions. So okay, they're for real. Then they're for real. So good for them. We'll see how how it goes. Against the Eagles next weekend. Okay,
Now, like I said,
I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take them over the Eagles.
I don't watch a ton of football. I don't understand a ton of football, but I know the Eagles are known sometimes to not have good games. And if they don't have a good game and they're
Yep.
playing, the Commanders, I think the Commanders,
Right.
I think they've got a decent shot.
I agree with you. I agree with all of that. I agree with all. Now, and then next week, do we care about the Bills Chiefs? Yeah, we care about it. I do. Again, I'm a Josh Allen fan. I want to, see how that goes. And some people are like, "Ooh, Chiefs could win 3 in a row." I'm like, "Please, God, do not let that happen." So anyway, that's
if those referees have anything to do with it, they will, by golly.
God. Oh my God. Oh my. I mean, yeah. I don't want to talk about it. That just freaks me out too much. Okay. So one last thing about football, by the way, as we record this on the Monday, and of course, people listening will already know the answer to this. College football national championship is tonight as we record this, and you and I again are going to be on kind of opposite sides of the field here because you're kind of a Notre Dame guy. And I'm kind of an Ohio State guy, not too much, but it's my home state there. So yeah.
I'm just going to try to keep the family together.
I know you said you've got what, both sides there. You've got the your son. Go ahead.
Son is a big Notre Dame fan.
Right.
Daughter is a adopted Ohio State fan just because her boyfriend is from there. So
boyfriend's from Cleveland, yeah.
So she's got to have, the jersey, and
right.
He has an Indians baseball jersey.
Right.
All these things kind of came after, the relationship was cemented.
Of course.
She had none of these things before the relationship.
The boyfriend didn't go to Ohio State, did he?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, no. I actually did for one semester. I mean, because I went to school, long story, but not even a long story, long ago story. I went to Ohio University, Athens, Ohio, for my journalism degree, put to good use for all those years of radio reporting. But because I was on the radio station and on the TV station staffs and all that, did not finish academically. So I got married. We lived in Columbus. First year we got married, we lived in Columbus, and I ended up taking a couple of night classes at Ohio State to finish my degree from Athens. So I've actually, so I guess I have a tiny Ohio State connection, plus my, family member there. So anyway, there you go.
Good deal.
Thanks. I know it's going to be, that should be a good game tonight too, but I mean, Ohio State's, I'm not going to say it. They're the prohibitive favorites, but they got to be favorites on that one. So that's okay. So we'll see.
Tell me what my answer should be.
Yes. What? I'm listening.
Okay. So you're filling out an application, or you're filling something out, and it's always high school diploma, some college degree.
Right.
So I went to a little university or college that was in my hometown of Rensselaer, Indiana, although my hometown, I guess, is Madera.
Community college kind of a thing.
Yeah. So, it's a nice little college. I took some speech classes.
Right.
And so I went to college after graduation to take some of these speech classes and a drama class. And I didn't take like anything else. So when I fill one of these things out, do I say some college? Do I say high school diploma with some college, or do I just say high school diploma?
I would say some. Why wouldn't you say some? I
Yeah,
mean,
because
at this
I
go ahead.
did get some, but I mean, yeah,
Right.
I always put some college because
Sure.
I did go
Sure.
to some college and take two classes.
I go to some college. I walked on campus and had a couple of beers and then I
Oh,
left.
let me tell you, I had. Oh, we won't talk. I
Yeah, no.
kind of I kind of had college life,
Right.
because there were some parties that I attended,
I'm sure you did.
and
Yes.
this is what was really weird. Like in the auditorium,
Right.
every Sunday night they would play movies. Like you could go, you could go to it wouldn't be like first run movies, but they'd be, pretty,
Right.
they'd be newish movies, within the
New-ish.
last year. Yeah.
Kind of
So
like
they do
before there
this.
was a Netflix, they had the new
Yeah.
movies. Yeah.
So they would have movies every, Sunday night. And
Right.
there was a lot of us, young college age kids that maybe didn't go to St. Joe, but we would go to movie night.
Okay.
So yeah, I attended college, damn it.
Of course, now here, 50 years later, who cares? You could say you have a PhD and nobody would check. It doesn't matter anymore.
I have a PhD in movies. I went to college to learn about the movies.
Perfect. Perfect. And which pretty girl I could sit next to. Awesome. Yes. So some college works for you. That's totally fine. Totally. It's okay. And again, and they actually, I don't know that they told us that in college. I think I might have had one instructor I don't know if he was a professor, full professor, or just a regular civilian instructor or not. But I do remember somebody somewhere told me, and it's true, that nobody anywhere in our business, when we were in the radio, television, media business, whatever, nobody is going to care what degree you had or where it's from or whatever. Now, nowadays, maybe that's changed. I don't know. But of course, when you and I were doing this, it was all about the experience. What have you done? What can you do? What do you sound like? All of that stuff. And degree or no degree, I mean, obviously, look at our career. It made zero difference, degree versus not.
I'm going to quote Bob Becker, owner and general manager of WRIN AM radio in Rensselaer, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I started working there my senior year of high school part-time.
Mm-hmm.
And the summer I was pretty much, working there full time.
Right.
It was a daytimer. So I would go in at 3 every afternoon. And some days with a daytimer, it would end at 4:15. So I'd
Yep.
be on for like an hour and 15 minutes,
Yep.
and then, but in the summer, it would be on till like, 8:45.
Yep.
So I'd be on from 3 to like 8:45. I was the afternoon drive guy at an AM.
I
AM
worked at
daytimer.
I worked at a daytimer in Phoenix and I signed it on. So I know it. I know the story very well. Yes.
But Bob Becker told me because I was ready to go to college, and I was going to go for drama. I was going to go, for acting, drama, and media. To
Right.
be, a radio type person. And he said, "Well, BJ, let me tell you, I have a full-time job available, and I'd like to offer it to you. And I'll tell you right now, everything in this business is all about experience more than it is, a degree or education or anything else. So
Mm-hmm.
my suggestion would be to you, I would just take the job I'm offering you and just stay right here at home, and you could, live at home, all that." So I went and talked to my parents, and they said, "Okay, I guess, yeah, that's what you want to do."
Sure.
And that's what I did. And there are days that I regret it because I did have a college life because it was in my hometown with a college I didn't really go to. But I
Right.
mean, as far as living in the dorm and all that other stuff, I would have probably enjoyed
Sure.
a little bit of college life. Maybe it would have changed my life. I wouldn't have ended up getting married the first time or any of that other stuff either. But then I wouldn't have had this kid that owns a podcast playground network or, Shaq never got introduced to Shaquille O'Neal. So I guess it had its benefits, but
Right.
yeah, I never did that college and I was ready to go. Everything was even going to be paid for because back then I was still known as a disabled child
Right.
because of my art problems.
Right.
I had books. I had tuition. It was all going to be paid. My
Right.
house, it was all going to be paid. And
Right.
this idiot decided to get into radio.
Fast forward 50 years, here we are. But again, you can't, you can, if you want to drive yourself crazy, you can start to peel apart that onion and off the different layers and go, what if, what if, what if, what if? But that, to me, that just makes you crazy. And because I've thought about that too. I've not with the college and radio thing, because I wasn't presented with that choice early on. I went through college and all of that, but other choice, I mean, we all make big choices. Every year you're going to make one or two really big choices that affect your life. Every day you make little choices, but whether or not I have, whether I drive through McDonald's or Burger King, probably not going to change my life in any significant way. I mean, it might, but again, choices. So, but trying to rethink those or trying to think what if, yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just make the best with what you got and go from there.
Speaking of those big decisions,
Big decisions.
I have one to make, and I'll tell you all about it coming up after the break.
And in the business, folks, that is a tease. And we will be right back. Welcome back. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom. Always, we would invite you to leave that 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. We're everywhere. We're like, Apple, Spotify. Those are the big ones, but we're also on like iHeartRadio. We're on YouTube. We are everywhere you get a podcast. We're there. So leave a 5-star review. And if you'd like to say hi, post a joke, post a question, head over to Facebook, do a quick search for BJ and Bill podcast, and you will find us there. So before the break, BJ was teasing us that he had a big life decision coming up here. I know you already made the decision about the electric car, so I think you're kind of, well, this is a new year, so you get another big new decision in 2025. So lay it on us.
Okay, so I have the electric car,
Yes.
which is currently leased.
Okay.
And, thinking about buying. Actually, I thought
Okay.
about buying in the beginning. So I took some money out of, my investments to buy the car. Well, also, what I took out of investments to pay for the car, I haven't done yet, but I have, put CDs. I put it in CDs.
Right.
And now the CDs are maturing.
Yes.
And so I'm thinking, do I want to pay off this car? But I'm seeing that electric cars are kind of, they're, as anything like computers, the advancement happens every year.
Yes.
If you've got this year's computer, next year's computer is going to be able to do this, 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 and this. And the
I always
battery's
told
gonna
my
be able-
clients, I always find the computers worked in dog years, so that a 1-year-old computer is like 7-year-old technology. And electric cars are probably on that path. Yes.
And they're talking about, batteries, going longer than they have. They're talking about, it's I got in, I think at the right time where they'd kind of like made the stride to make, more mileage,
Sure.
better batteries and all that. But obviously in the next year and a half, when my lease ends, they're going to get better yet.
Yes.
And what I've been reading, not that that's always right, because we just talked about Inauguration Day, that could go either way. But they're thinking, that actually too, because the electric car world is getting to be more competitive,
Yes.
that, good chances that there will be lower cost electric cars in the future.
Well, of course. I mean, I could almost guarantee that, but yeah, there will be, of course, price will come down. Yes.
So I'm thinking, do I continue to lease or do I use that money to pay off my car? Do I pay off my home mortgage,
Right.
which is, a pretty chunk of change if you paid that off, and the interest that I had to get in at that particular time was, over 5%. Of course, now it's
Right.
over 6 and 7%. And then also investments. You can make money on investments. Like I've been making some halfway decent scratch on CDs, but that is coming down.
Right.
You can't go out and get a Moody Blues CD now for what you could have 6 months ago.
No, those things are, no, you can't do that. Okay, whatever.
So I'm wondering,
right.
with this chunk of change that's coming out of a CD here, pay off car, pay off house, reinvest.
Wow. It's nice to have options. That's for sure. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it would all, like you say, depend on, a lot of it would depend on the interest rates you are currently paying and the interest rate you can get from the investment. And if I had to guess, because it's always like that, we always pay more in interest than we are paid in interest by saving big time. Now the lease, that's interesting. I mean, I didn't know that you were leasing it.
Well,
and it's only 2 years.
Yeah, and here's what happened. I said I want to buy it outright.
Right.
And this is how the car business works, people. I went in there, I go, I want to pay cash. What's the best deal I can get?
Yeah, I've heard that. Never offer to pay cash.
And they go, oh, what? But let me tell you, you can lease it.
Right.
Because I wanted X amount of dollars to buy it out, trade in my car. I'm going to give you this much money. This is what and obviously you go in there and this is what they wanted. And then you go and say, well, if you take this, I'll take your car.
Right. Of course.
So I said that.
Here's the deal.
And they come back and they go, oh, we can't do that. But, we can do it for this. But if you lease it, you can pay off the lease in, 2 months.
2 years.
No, 2 months, they said.
Oh, 2.
With no penalties and buy it outright. But here was the catch. If you lease it, we're going to give you $8,000 check for leasing it and not buying it. So actually,
because of the electric car rebates and all that.
That was a government rebate that they took that off the car.
Okay.
This was another check for $8,000 because it was coming from the lease company, Hyundai lease company, because I was leasing the car.
Right. I hear what you're saying. I hadn't heard of that before. So what an interesting thing.
They said, so actually you will be paying less than what you want to give us for your car. And you only have to, lease it for 2 months and then say, no, I don't want to lease it anymore. I want to buy it outright.
Oh, interesting.
Well, then I invested some of that money,
right.
With the Grand Funk Railroad CD. And
they didn't have any more Moody Blues ones.
That's all I had to get.
I get you. I got it.
So I said, yeah, that sounds good. But now I'm like debating the whole thing. Going, well, maybe I'll just run my lease out and say, hey, these electric cars aren't even, I can buy what you want me to pay this car off. I can just say, I'm going to trade for the newer one that came down in price over the year and a half.
The only thing and all of that is super interesting. And I don't know a heck of a lot about that. And of course your finances are your business, not mine. The only thing I do know is that electric cars depreciate a lot faster than regular cars. So in other words, if you were to buy it and then when it comes time to trade it in or resell it or whatever, you'll probably be unpleasantly surprised by how much money you can get for it for whatchamacallit. And again, the only reason I know it is because, again, my friend that has the same electric car that you have, she's thinking it's time for a change. And she's had this one for 2 years. I think it's a 21 or a 22. I know it's the same exact car as yours. Older, of course, just like you, doesn't drive a ton. She paid cash money for it. And then so last time I was down there a couple of weeks ago, we went to the up in Clearwater because there's a nice Lexus Genesis Hyundai dealer up there, and she was thinking maybe she wanted one of the fancy Genesis electric ones until we started looking at the price tag. Long story short, they gave her a basic estimate. The guy's like, oh, we'd have to inspect it. We'd have to look at the car, whatever. She goes, just ballpark. How much? So we went to kellybluebook.com right there online in the guy's office, looked up her car, and she was unpleasantly surprised by how much it was worth, or, what the KBB Blue Book value on it was. Kelley Blue Book value. I just said it twice. What the Kelley Blue Book value was for the car. And the guy said, yeah, electric cars, for better or for worse, not so much on the resale. And I'm like, interesting. Okay, so again, that's something you can take into account with your.
And that's what I've been thinking too, because I've heard that same story.
Interesting. So you have a 2-year lease, and you're a few months into it now. I'm
about 6 months into it. Just
6 months into 2 years. You're a quarter of the way done already. So a 2-year lease, you're probably paying a pretty good chunk of change for that thing.
Well, again, I traded in a car too. Remember that? Right.
And you got the $8,000 discount and whatever. So all good. I don't know. That's a good financial decision there. Talk to your son. He's really good with money as opposed to his father and his father's friend, Bill. So yeah, I don't know. You got the urge to buy a car? What you don't? Any bit of driving you do, the lease sounds like a good deal.
And I was thinking too, maybe, at the end of the 2 years, I can also go in there and say, well, I'm ready to turn my lease in. How much is this car worth? And he goes,
right.
Well,
what
you
would
owe
it take
this.
To buy it?
I go, no, I'm asking you what's it worth now since it's 2 years old. And they might go, oh, well, if you were going to sell it, you can only, or
right.
even, I can even do that. I can, CarMax or something.
Yes.
Put it up, give them, the information.
Yes.
They can give you a quote what they'll pay you for it.
Yes.
And you can find out this thing's only worth. So go in there and say, you know what? My lease is done, but I'll buy it off of you. But I'm not going to buy it off of you what I would owe on,
Right.
But I'll give you this.
There's plenty of wiggle room all around for that. I hear you. So you got options. Options are good. You got options.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with paying off the house.
Probably a better, again,
because this is the higher interest rate if anything would be.
Okay. So there you go. So some real estate agent is going,
no.
But again, don't take Bill's word for it. I'm a single guy living in a 1-bedroom apartment with a 7-year-old car. So what do I care? So yeah, there you go. That's all good. So no, I think, you got options. Pay something off. Getting out of debt is always a good idea, Dave Ramsey. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, Dave Ramsey's the guy. You don't want any debt.
That's it.
It's
and he's
so
right.
funny. It's so funny, and I've had that conversation with other people too about paying off a house. Oh, you don't want to pay off your house because you know that you can take that money off on tax. Oh man, yeah, but you're still throwing it out the window.
Complicated. It is. Yeah. As long as you have, first, if it's me, and this is what I'm doing for myself, is I'm going back and I'm making sure that, no credit cards with any balances on them, no nothing, no, and I'm not there yet, but I am making progress on it, I'm happy to say, because that's the worst. That credit card debt is the highest. It piles up the fastest. You get nothing for it. At least with a house and a mortgage.
18 to 23%?
Easy. easy on some credit cards. It's insane how high those interest rates are. Insane. So yeah, my New Year's resolution, financial New Year's resolution, is to take that quote unquote fine tooth comb and go through my finances and see what can be paid and all of that stuff. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So there you go. All right. So that's the money corner on today's BJ and Bill podcast. Two guys that don't know jack, but we like talking about it.
Yeah, we like to act like we know what we're talking about.
We act like we know what we're talking about. Yeah. If you're a financial advisor listening to this podcast and you've been pulling your hair out, just feel free to get in touch on the Facebook page. Just do that search, BJ and Bill podcast. Drop a note. Let us know what we ought to be doing, because that'd be appreciated, because it's good. It's all good. Love it.
Hey, what's the most frequently spoken word on the planet, no matter the language?
The.
Nope.
It's not the THE. No. I don't know.
I'll give you
Love.
3 guesses.
Love.
Nope. Come on.
I know, right? Is it a thing? Is it the old
word.
Noun, person, place, or thing? Is it what?
I don't think I don't know. I don't know if it's a
You don't know your language.
It's not a person. It's not a person. It's not a place, and it's not really a thing.
Because love is a thing, and dog is a thing, and person, place, self-explanatory, right?
Okay,
and
I'll just give it to you.
Please, because you're driving me crazy.
Okay, I did.
Okay. Okay is the same. And
is that a person, place, or thing?
No, it's not. It's I forget what you call it. Okay is a preposition. It's been a long time since grammar class, damn it. We were just talking about college, 50 years. I don't remember. Okay, because okay is, I think it also is pretty much universal, isn't it? You can use it anywhere.
That's probably why it says no matter the language.
Yeah, because you could use it in Moscow or Tokyo, and okay, people know what okay means. Yes, correct.
Hey, senor, okay?
Okay.
I speak a little Spanish. Hey, senor, you okay?
You okay?
I speak a little Chinese. Oh, you okay?
Okay. We're going down a really bad rabbit hole here, but okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Good. Not okay. No.
Here's a little German for you. Okay.
No bueno. Oh, he was tuna. Well, never mind. I'm not talking about it. All right. So there you go. So what do you think in the last few minutes of the show? And I don't want it to be about politics, but I'm just curious. Are we going to be okay as a country?
I've got enough gummies and I got enough booze. No matter what happens, I'm okay.
Okay. You're going to be okay. BJ is going to be okay. He's got gummies and booze.
Maybe we should have a disclaimer. No one under 21 should listen to this podcast.
No, this is not. If you're not of legal drinking or gummy age, please consult your parents for further information on this. Absolutely.
Here's something that.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, we were talking about, are we going to be okay? I don't see how it gets. I don't see that it can get any worse.
I can see how
it can get worse. I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know. But I am open. Yours truly is open to trying something, anything different to see. And I said this at the beginning of the show. Throw some new spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks this time, and let's see if we can make it any better. Will it? Who the hell knows? But we'll find out. There. That's my 2 cents worth. Worth every penny.
Well, put it this way. Half the country is very, very happy and half the country is very, very sad today.
Yes, they are. And they were before, weren't they? Now they've just changed which side they're on. They went from very happy to very sad, or very sad to very happy.
It's happy.
What's that?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They just swap places.
They swap sides. They just swap places. So now if you were on the happy side, now you're the one that gets to stand on the sidelines and throw rocks. And if you're on the side that was sad and now you're happy, well, guess what? Now you have to deliver. Now you have to
Well, here's
do
what I will
something.
say.
Okay.
And this happened 8 years ago when Trump became president
Right.
for the first 2 years.
Right.
And I don't, and maybe it's just me. I don't think he got a whole lot of wonderful things done. But now again, his first 2 years,
Right.
he's got everything.
Everything.
He's got the Senate. He's
House
got
is
the
close.
House.
It's close,
And
but
he's got
close enough.
no, but he's got it all. I mean, he's got
Right.
majority of everything.
Supreme Court.
Yeah, he's got
Everything.
it all.
Everything.
So if you can't make something happen now, you ain't never gonna make something happen.
And I've heard that same, I'm not going to say argument, but I've heard that same idea from some other folks who are way smarter than BJ and Bill when it comes to politics and getting things done and all that. It's like, okay, we are handing you the keys to the kingdom. You had damn well better deliver, or you will go down in history as a loser. And if we know anything about this guy, if we know anything about our new president, he wants to be a winner and known as a winner and known as, all of that. His ego is ginormous. And that either helps him or it brings him down. So now, okay, time to do something. Let's see what happens. And if he stirs the pot a little bit, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Again, I'm an old guy. You and BJ and Bill are old guys. Our Social Security checks are going to keep on coming. I get it. I mean, unless the world goes to hell in a handbasket, which, again, not going to happen. We don't, yeah, anything can happen. But again, other than that, other than, the crazy, the really crazy stuff, I'm open for let's try something new and see what happens. I've said it 3 times now. It must be true. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, as the old country music song goes.
You're Dorothy the Good Witch. Just 3 times, tap your heels together.
Tap your heels together. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. No, you're not in Kansas. You're in Washington, D.C., where there's a viper under every rock. And monsters in every closet waiting to pounce. So good luck with that. We'll see how it goes. And we'll, get back to me in 2 years and we'll find out. Because if not, and then again, this is a guy who only has 4 years. So, I mean, unless he, really tries some totally crazy SH, IT, that he's only got 4 years. So good news and bad news. He's only got 4 years. So it's like he doesn't have to worry about re-election. So I can do whatever the heck I want and not worry about election time ramifications. Could be dangerous. I really feel like we're going to the casino with our last $20 now. It's like, all right, well, whatever.
As we go into this inauguration today, and
right,
4 years of unpredictability.
Yes.
Let me leave you with this, folks.
Right, here it comes. Should I play some patriotic music or something? I could find some somewhere.
A study suggests vodka produces less of a hangover than whiskey.
And buy the good Polish stuff. Don't buy that Russian junk. We're not supporting the Russians here. Buy the good Polish. Buy the Belvedere. Come on. So yeah. See, did you see that? How I pulled that Polish vodka brand name out of thin air like that? Pretty good, huh?
Well, what do you expect for a Polish boy?
Boy from Cleveland. That's it. Vodka, less of a hangover, less stuff in it. Actually, even if you don't Polish stuff, get the Tito's from Austin, Texas.
Oh, that's what the wife drinks.
Oh yeah, I remember going to I lived in Austin for a couple of years, and I remember going to some tastings and parties and wine parties and stuff like that. Here, try this, and it's like that tastes like water. It has nothing. And that's the point. Yes.
That's something we should maybe do. Because I've noticed lately a lot of stars and a lot of country music stars either have, whiskey or they have, tequila.
Oh, their own brand.
I think it's time for the BJ and Bill tequila.
I love that. I mean, I'm not a big tequila fan.
Well, how
I mean,
about whiskey?
George Clooney
BJ
has his
and
own
Bill.
tequila. I get it. Yeah.
BJ and Bill whiskey.
Whiskey, bourbon. Now
work.
you're talking Bill's language. Bourbon. Now you're talking. Okay,
Or
I love that. Who do
Try
we get
these
to-
new BJ and Bill gummies.
Hey, if Cheech and Chong can do it, BJ and Bill can do it. I don't know if you've seen them or not. They are on X. They're on X, like their ads run on my feed anyway, constantly. Cheech and Chong gummies. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I think that's a fine idea.
I do not. I try, because you talk about it a lot. I tried X. I can't take it because on my feed are things that, like, well, Facebook is all ads too. So I don't know.
Right.
But people that I don't even care what their opinion is.
Right.
And let's just say this particular person owns the platform. Why am I seeing all his posts?
Because he owns
I
the
get,
platform.
I get, like alerts that he's posted something and I should click and look. It's like, I don't even follow you, buddy. I like R. That's about it. I don't care your opinion.
I hear you. So here's my answer for you.
Okay.
Here's my answer
I'm done
for you.
with this because
Yeah. The best, when I look at my feed, it's the last thing I do before I turn this out at night. Before I try to turn screens off a little earlier, but whatever. I'm going to scroll that feed for a half an hour and I am going to laugh. It's funny. I love it. It's stuff and joy. And here's why. And that's because I've made a conscious decision to follow people. It's all about who you follow on X. Follow the people that are talking about the things that you want that you're interested in or you want to talk about. I don't post anything, whatever, but I follow like cryptocurrency. I follow Bitcoin. I follow that stuff, financial stuff. Okay. That's cool. I'd follow a little bit of politics, especially the libertarians out there who are, it's libertarian stuff. You got to, if you don't know it, you don't know it, but if you know, you know. And then I follow a lot of musical people, that kind of thing. So now my feed has stuff I'm interested in, music and a little bit of politics and a little bit of finance and crypto and that sort of thing. I'm interested. Tell me more, not tell me more, show me more of that cool stuff. But you're right. If you just sign into X with a brand new account and you've done no modifications or whatever, yeah, you're going to get a lot of crap. You just are. I would say start following people you care about. They'll show up. Follow Taylor Swift. I know you're a Swiftie. Follow Taylor Swift. Follow Caitlin Clark. Follow Patrick Mahomes. You're going to see more of what you like.
I just like following my Snapchat. Or wait, not Snapchat. What is it? It's called, what is it
Instagram.
called? No, not Instagram either. What is it? TikTok, yeah.
Oh, you're out of luck.
Hickory dickory dock. The tick ran
You're
up
out
the
of
talk.
luck you're out of luck with TikTok. I don't know where they're going.
It's back on again.
It's on, off, who knows? Yeah, it's too much money to lose. So we'll see. All right. It's gonna be exciting out there. It's gonna be exciting. So anyway, buckle up, folks. Get those gummies. Get that vodka.
Get those
Get ready
BJ
for
and Bill
another-
gummies today.
And they're available at Buc-ee's. Because we need to do a deal with them too.
Yeah. Hey, would you carry our gummies?
Our gummies? Yeah. I think we're onto something here.
Maybe they need beaver gummies. We got to get out of here. I got places to go, things to do, stitches to remove, and I haven't snitched on a person.
You go do that. And everybody else, have a great week. We love you. Thanks for dropping by. As always, leave that review and, get in touch, and we'll see you again next week. And until then, it's just up to BJ Odom to say,
See ya.